This is Jennye, professional makeup artist, filming from the city of San Antonio, Texas. I welcome you to this new makeup tutorial day. The table today, friends, is full of luxury, and we're going to be speaking specifically about fall makeup. If you are just tuning to my channel, friends, do you want to know what it's going to be about? All fall new product. Dolce & Gabbana, Sisley Paris, the new concealer from Dolce & Gabbana, super brand new, beautiful lipsticks, Kiss from Burberry, new releases, and some of them are not that new, but they are staples on this gorgeousness and the weather that we are transitioning right now, and some of my favorite stuff. To start the day, I would like to tell you I got Miss DIOR, the new eau de parfum. Oh friends, if you haven't accessed yet, you haven't bought yet this fragrance, I highly encourage you to go and try it. Floral scent. Friends, this is going to be my last video before I travel to Scotland. What is done on my face so far today? Tom Ford foundation. My bottle is pretty full. This was the second bottle I bought, and I'm not going to let it go until I use the very last drop. This is the shade in Illuminate Soft Radiant Foundation. One of my favorite foundation, friends. How radiant it is, the shade in Illuminate. How perfecting. This is why I'm going to be using my foundation, but I'm going to keep trying to love the new one. For my concealer, I got the EVERLAST concealer from Dolce & Gabbana. This is a very brand new launch. It is infused with hyaluronic acid, had a mattification effect, hydrating, be 24 hours, wear, and claiming to cover blemishes, imperfections, large pores, and blurring, skin texture. Because of my dark circles, I normally target first the shade that is going to help me to cover the problems. But the number 11, light medium with correcting peach undertones. I couldn't be more excited, friends. Dolce & Gabbana didn't have a concealer. First concealer they ever launched. I couldn't be more excited. The applicator is super long. Beautifully light peachy undertone, friends. If happen you have dark circles between blue and purplish, the 11 light medium is the shade that have peachy undertones correcting. So I'm going to grab a tiny little bit. It's super creamy, friends. Let us see what it is about. My main problems are here, okay? Mattifying. I got like a cat because I don't like to mattify my under eye area or eyelid. This one need to go through and prove to me that is a good product. Look on the inner, which is the main problem. You see how dark my circles are, so let us go. So I have a tiny little melasma there and I want to conceal. I can see the peach undertone. I thought at first glance it was going to be really dark, and I honestly think I don't have to apply anything else. Had an illuminating effect, as it says, it's matte, but it's not creasing, which is my main concern, and not giving me any dryness, not yet. 11 light medium, correcting peach undertones. Listen, blue dark circles, purple eye dark circles, peach undertones. And we're going to be speaking about the setting powder, friends, recently launched by Chanel, LIBRE, Universelle, LIBRE, and 10 Light. It's a loose powder, is giving and providing, you know, a more natural finish, hydrating. The last thing I want on this live, friends, is to mattify my skin. This is just stunning, friends. Wow. I can see the finish. I can see the illuminating effect, blurring effect that the powder have. But I can't tell you about the concealer. I was very scared because specifically the EVERLAST says that it is a mattifying type of concealer. Since I haven't used this NATASHA DENONA, I would like to go with this stunning product she launched not a long time ago, Sculpt Liquid Bronzer, okay? So I'm going to be using FOXY today. It have definitely a warm undertone. How beautiful are these bronzers? So in speaking, friends, regarding fall makeup, you can go through winter with this type of shade. Highly recommending this product, not kidding. Highly recommending it. Actually, I'm going to take it on my trip because I think it is just beautiful. And I'm going to link and describe all of the product on the description box below, as with my affiliation links. From Valentino is the number 10 Fuchsia Illusion. Look at this, baby, friends. Because I think you can manipulate this blush as you want it. For the purpose, I'm going to use the double-ended brush from Patrick Ta. This, baby, friends, from Valentino 10 Fuchsia Illusion. It's not a new shade, friends, but was a shade it was missing on my collection. The way that this product diffused, friends, is no other one. So look, I'm going to release some of the powder on the palm of my hand, and I'm going to barely touch the skin, friends. Ooh, look at this, friends. Just good enough, you know, to give a tiny little color to these cheeks, having reflective pearls. So I still maintaining, you know, a gorgeous radiance on the skin. Because, you know, application and the amount of makeup you can start layering on your face is just endless. I got recently from CHANTECAILLE. It might not be a recent product on the market, but it's new to me. So we are speaking about this beauty from CHANTECAILLE. Is the Chic Jelly Hydrating Gel Cream Blush. Shade I got is Thrill. And I'm going to apply a tiny little bit because these, friends, with a tiny little bit, you go a long way. So I did apply a tiny little bit of the shade over there. Look how much you can go with this product. So this baby is so natural, but is providing a touch of an earthy shade on your face. I did apply it a little bit higher and blend it with the Valentino. Oh my friends, the results is just beautiful. If you have product, you have investment product, friends, this is another stunning formula I can highly recommend you from CHANTECAILLE. Considering it's a luxury brand, you know, it was not that expensive. Sisley Paris. I got recently was hesitating for the longest time getting this product. Oh my, too long, very long, because of the price. This bronzer, friends, is the most expensive bronzer on the market. It's a product that was made in Italy. Sun Glow Bronzing Gel Powder is a 0.37 ounces, 11 grams. Look at this, friends. Look how beautiful. Look at the way that this product blends, friends, and diffuse. So this is a bronzing highlighter. So we are layering products on the face. So now, with a very airy brush, I would like, to go just like a swiping motions, and this is how much I will get. And I'm going to apply this baby. Look at this. It's super natural, friends. It's nothing like you have seen before. The tiny little bit, you are going a very long way. It's so imperceptible because it's set on the skin so naturally, friends. As fall comes, we're going to have the tendency to start losing, right? Our tanning or bronzing. So this is from Sisley Paris. If you want to know, is retailed for $150. It's a Sun Glow gel to powder product infused with skincares. I'm filming using a 4K camera. It's considered a high resolution camera with it's 70% of natural light, 30% of artificial light. I don't use filters on my videos. So you can observe as well, the performance of these beauties. So I'm going to be demo two products, two greatest releases from the luxury industry. I'm speaking about the recent release from Sisley Paris. And I'm speaking about the palette, the PHYTO Eye palette. And we're speaking about also the Tender Toffee shade. It retails for $125. This palette is coming on this gorgeousness. It is a velvet pouch, the Sisley logo there. Look at this packing, friends. Matte with a zebra pattern. I have a feeling of vinyl material with this beautiful size mirror. I don't have enough about this Tender Toffee #1. Once I present the next eyeshadow palette, I would love to provide you with all of the swatches and everything you need to know. And the next from Dolce & Gabbana recent release. So look at this beauty, friends. They just recently launched these two products. I have the 01 Amber Venus. Have a gorgeous mirror size, but what mesmerized me, friends, it is about the detail. But this embossing, friends, on this eyeshadow palette couldn't be more stunning, sophisticated, and elevating packing of the product that is inside. This is just mesmerizing. It's a 3D heart. Look at this, friends. This is pretty heavy. Comparing this with Sisley, Sisley is not the most lightest, okay? But this, comparing it with Dolce & Gabbana, it is slightly lighter. So this is the 01 Amber Venus. Tender Toffee and 01 Amber Venus. So we are speaking about two eyeshadow palette on the hues browns, ivory, and this shades here, terracotta. So I'm going to start with the swatches. So get ready, my love, get sit, because I'm going to make one eye makeup look, you know, for Dolce & Gabbana, and I want to demo this beautifulness. The formulation on Sisley, creamy, silky, infused with skincare, as all of the products that we know from Sisley Paris stay for over than 7 hours, and I would like to say more, probably 7 to 9 hours on my eyes in perfect condition with no fallout. I want to tell you, this formulation, it is as well infused with some skincare, no fallout for what I experienced on this first palette. I'm going to proceed with the swatches on the palette from Sisley. This is the first three. The formula, friends, is highly pigmented. This beautiful shade, which is the ivory champagne. Can you see it? Okay. Then with this kind of metallic khaki shade, and then this matte brown kind of a tea shade, like a tea and milk shade. The dark brown, my love, is a matte brown. It's a very, very strong shade. So the swatches for the Dolce & Gabbana is going to be once I start with the look here. I'm going to grab on this first shade because it's a cool shade I have on the palette to start building the shade on my crease. Wow! Let us start with this. This is super silky. So I'm using Refer 01. With a tiny little bit, I can go a very, very long way. It's so delicate, so silky, so fall winter. Why not to say, oh my, this is so insane. It's this kind of coppery shade over there. Look at this, friends. With dabbing motions, body motions on this area, just building this gorgeousness. No fallout so far. So coming to the inner with a very initial shade, to put a tiny little bit here because it is silky, satiny, and then I'm coming to the ivory shade, this one, champagne. So pretty, friends. The shade is so gorgeous, as you can observe on the screen, friends. And I'm going to apply it in a little bit more of this beautiful khaki shade. You don't, make it like look like I have a line there. For the dark brown, friends, I'm coming with this tiny brush from Morphe. Unfortunately, I don't have a name or number. Highly pigmented. I strongly suggest to go with this kind of precise brushes, friends. If you have palette with a high pigmentation, as it is this one, because you will have more control, okay? You don't have to go with this kind of dimension if this is not what you want. Friends, honestly, I don't have enough. This is a crease brush, is super tiny, the tiniest of the tiniest. You don't have to be using all of the shades, okay? So I take it all the way because my eyebrows, friends, are pretty much one line. And look at this statement. This palette doesn't produce any fallout. Wow. Oh, I can't have enough. Friends, if you want to invest on something high quality, easy to use, this in Dolce & Gabbana is some, you know, of the most stunning releases we have received so far for this gorgeous season we have in front of us. Time, yes. Since we are working with brown khakis ivory shade, I'm going to use Prada line. It's beautifully dark but not black, okay? If we want to escape, you know, from the black shades. I love Prada pencils because they don't transfer, they set to don't move. My lower waterline, I'm using Hermes, the 00 Trump Beige. Look at this. So with a tiny little bit of something, friends, how much the eye can change. Okay, and since I'm being infatuated with this mascara from Chanel, the volume of Chanel, I have actually the full size mascara. I just got it, but I'm going to keep using this sample, okay? And there you have the first eye makeup look, friends, using the palette from Sisley Paris. All my friends, I'm not going to be rushing on this video because it is on my interest, friends, and you can observe everything what is happening. For yourself on my lower eyelid is no fallout. These look so sophisticated. Wow. Demo Sisley Paris #1 Tender Toffee. I don't have enough with the performance of this palette. A 10 out of 10 to Sisley from these other eye friends as a comparison. I would like to offer the swatches first of Dolce & Gabbana. Okay, this is a recent release, Amber Venus. And I'm going to begin with the bottom over here, going into this direction and then the other direction. This palette on this side is to be wear in a daily basis makeup look, and the other side it is if you want, you know, to transform the first makeup look into an evening makeup look. So a little bit of a middle. This is the middle shade we have here. Look at that. It's a wet formula, friends. Wow. Look at that. A metallic. Look at that, friends. So we have to compare with Sisley. But this is a wet, dry, wet formula. A creamy metallic as well. So we continue here. So you can observe what is happening. And here. And we have all of the swatches on Dolce & Gabbana. Wow. I truly think, friends, that this creation from Dolce & Gabbana are so crazy stunning. The formula is silky, it's creamy, don't produce fallout. Ready to start on this eye, and I'm going to grab a MAC brush. It's a 210. They come as well by numbers, friends. I like it because it's a very fluffy, you know, and very flexible, you know, synthetic bristles. And I will start with a day makeup look on this palette and see what we got. So for that purpose, I have to start from this beautiful kind of khaki shade over here. And then we're going to transform the look into an evening look. So now I'm going to start applying this all over my eyelid, friends. Let us see. Let us see where we can go. I have never used this palette before. Look at that shade, friends. Oh, friends, this is all what you need to do. A little eyeliner and you're done. So this shade, I'm applying it as my base. Dolce & Gabbana product. I don't know how this product doesn't have more hype. Quality of the product Dolce & Gabbana produce, friends, are so exquisite. So I'm going to continue, my friends, with this beautiful metallic kind of shimmery. It's a slightly bit thinner than a metallic shimmer, but it's super extremely silky to be applied here on the center, just to give some fun to the eye. And pushing the product outwards. So now, to give it a little bit of dimension to the eye, let us go with this kind of earthy shade, earthy brown over here. So I'm going to apply this deepest shade with dabbing motions. How delicate the product apply. Look at this. This is, you know what is it? Those kind of pumpkin shade. And just to blend everything, I grab the initial shade just to blend everything in a very nice way. Oh, this is so fall. Now the shade I was telling you, this one that is thinner consistency, just to say that it's metallic because it's so silky, so creamy, but it's so sober, you know. At the same time, it's in combination with the first shade, and it's a khaki shade. You know, it look on the eye like with that touch of goldish. Oh, how pretty. This is supposed to be for a daily gold look. I'm coming to the inner with this mini, and I'm going to grab into the middle shade. Have the texture of a beautiful shimmery wet shade. So beautifully soft. It's not the type of particle that are flying everywhere. Wow. I don't know what you think, friends, but if this is going to be a daily makeup look, friends, how gorgeous it is. You can soft or you can charge, you know, the shade as it is your desire, okay? I'm just showing you how far you can go, showing you solution, what to expect on these stunning luxury formulations. Look at this stunning finish. Definitely, friends, this is one of the most luxurious product I've ever seen lately. How pretty! And of course, you don't want this much statement. You can go more sober, you know, depending on what is going to be your taste. So this is what I have to offer you as a daily makeup look. Friends, if this is all what you want to do, or you can soft, just using one shade out of the 6 shade, you are done. or with a tiny, you know, metallic shade on the inner. So let us take this look to the next step. Dolce & Gabbana says that we can transform our daily look into a night look. So I'm looking for a brush that can suit on that corner. So let us go with the darkest brown, just on the very outer V. This shade, friends, is so crazy, highly pigmented. So here we come. The shades blend into each other, my loves, with no effort. How easy it is for this product, friends, to be diffused. With another refer is the 1112. I'm using all refer ice brushes, okay? And I'm going to keep using the 01. This, in my opinion, is like a cool tone. Look at this metallic shade. Wow. Let me do it with my finger and see what is going to be the effect. Just to connect with the outer. The fusion is gorgeous. Just in the very center, I'm applying the Day Look shade, this one, in the very center. So we can have a very pretty transition. And now blending everything, as I've been teaching you always, don't leave any loose steps, even though you can apply on the lash line a tiny bit of that gorgeous inner corner shade, and it's like a wet coralish creamy. So the imagination can take you everywhere. Look at this, friends. Oh my. The palette is so sophisticated, friends. Oh, I don't have enough. Simply as that. And with this tiny mini, I'm grabbing into the darkest brown. You can see that? Just a tiny bit. And I'm going to do something similar as I did here. Definitely, I think Dolce & Gabbana, this, not only this year, friends, but the past year, they have been bringing high quality of formulations. So I'm going to keep using this tiny brush, and I'm going to apply the very first lightest shade I use as my base to connect. So it's up to you, friends. Let us say that this is a night look, right? So we're going to put wood. And I'm going to proceed with the same Hermes, Trade the Hermes eye pencils on 00 Trump Beige. Performance of the concealer from Dolce & Gabbana, 10 out of 10. Until this very moment, friends, it haven't dried at all my skin. I really want that you observe. If I don't tell you, I truly did both a makeup look with different palette. You can never guess. I think so. The brown on this Sisley Paris is really more deep and pigmented than the one in Dolce & Gabbana. This one is more like a coffee shade. It's really deep These have a little bit more like a soft kind of reddish. Not really much, but it's so stunning. If I don't tell you, I did my eye makeup look with 2 different luxury eye palette. You can never guess, because the shades, if that is true, some of them are really more pigmented than the other one. As you can see, this coffee shade on Sisley Paris is stunning, but we can find as well here, you know, a shade that is a little earthy, kind of a pumpkin shade with 2, you know, stunning champagne ivory shade that I did use on my inner. So if you invest on this palette for $72 from Dolce & Gabbana, France, I have no words to say how worth it and luxurious the formula it is. It doesn't produce any fallout. And Sisley Paris, $125. It is a quad. If you invest on this, friends, I don't see why you should be investing on this one, or vice versa. How gorgeous the formulation of both palettes are. 2 great high-end houses, friends, bringing the most unique and versatile multi-pigment shadow. If I recommend the palette, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 of this gorgeousness, friends. Blushes. What I can tell you regarding these beauties. Wow, Chantecaille, Valentino, the bronzer, the new bronzer I just got from Sisley. How stunning. Highly recommending this product, friends, with all my heart. We're speaking about this stunning bronzer, speechless, extremely natural on the application, friends. Oh wow. So this, if you want, or you are wondering if you can use this product all around the year, yes. It's elegant with a delicate, sultry, beautiful finish effect. Jumping to my lips right now, I did apply 2 gorgeous brown from Carolina Herrera, long wearing up to 9 hours. So I want to show you one of my recent purchases I did from Prada. As many of you know, I'm crazy for the formula after Guerlain, right? Now Burberry, that I'm going to them in a few minutes. I would like to say Prada have one of the best formulas on the market. This is the Hyper Matte Monochrome, and the shade that was missing here was Uniform. And let me tell you, it's the B15 magnetic. Ooh, look at these, friends. Oh my. So fall, winter, or holidays. Oh, look at this shade, friends. It is on the brownish, but is translating with a hint of pink. Oh my friends, how beautiful it is. This is called Uniform. What a gorgeous shade. B15 from Prada. I'm going to be speaking about Burberry Kisses. I got 3 shades on the matte collection, and I would like to start by 102 Matte Burgundy, the beauty of this line. These are not recent launches, magnetic as well. Look at the design on the lipstick, friends. Oh my. So this is matte burgundy, friends. This shade burgundy is true to the B. And my makeup look like this. And a shade like this, friends. If you like a statement, why not? I'm going to 97 matte ox blood. All of these shades are extremely in for this fall winter, including the maroons, including this uniform from Prada. I cannot imagine this shade, friends. You see, this is true burgundy. This comes with a deep tonality of a berry, and I can diffuse so you can see the undertone. You see what I'm saying? Ox blood with a berry undertone. Wow. No, I don't have enough, friends. Don't tell me. The last one is a 93 matte rosette. A peachy burnish, but the design around the lipstick, friends, is so beautiful. This is actually, friends, they're a piece of art. This is rosette. A little, yeah, this have more reddish, and this one had a more magenta, which is the ox blood. This one is again russet. Let us see this one, which is the russet. Now you understand also the shades are going to translate on the lips depending on your undertone. Apply the main of the product on the outer. Before I forget to tell you, this formula doesn't dry your lips. Where here is this one, russet. Look at this shade. Friends, if you like to go over the bridge wearing something like this, friends, why not? With this both eyeshadows palette, let me tell you and explain something. You can go as soft as you want or as charged and dramatic as you want. That is the virtue of the palette from Sisley Paris, and it is the virtue of Dolce & Gabbana. This combination, friends, is so beautiful. Beside Guerlain, beside my Prada Hyper Matte, okay? Those products don't dry your lips. Look at me. I suffer from dry lips, chronic. With this formulation, I don't have the need to be applying any moisturizer on top. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful formula. Friends, $45 for the quality of Burberry. $45, $65, Guerlain, $85. Gorgeous friends, we come to an end. Let me tell you, I walk around the house, I look in different level of light, natural light, some artificial light for performance on the product. All of them, because I cannot say one thing is going to give you everything. It's the whole combination of everything I did apply, I layer it, and I demonstrate. I invest on this Burberry for first time. It's been a good 45 minutes since I did apply the lipstick, friends. I have chronic problem with dryness. This is the most nurturing, listen what I'm saying, the most nurturing product I ever put on my lips. So moisturizing, so hydrating. These are two stunning, just releases from one of the most beautiful formulation I've touched so far this year. And it's not DIOR. For first time, it's not DIOR. Dolce & Gabbana, 10 out of 10 formulation wise. Sisley, 10 out of 10. So I appreciate everything, friends. God bless you. I have to leave you now. I'm going to try to speed up this video. All of my videos are filmed 4K using a 70% of natural light with a 30% of artificial light. I film with a 4K camera, high resolution, so make the adjustment you need on your devices. I don't use filter. This channel never use filter, friends. So any texture, any imperfection that the foundation of the product or the placement can leave is going to be translated on the skin. So again, thank you so much. I don't have enough of this color, my russet. Bye, my friends. Thank you so much. I love you all. See you soon.